You run into match day 3. Our Premier League, and there are some very, very exciting fixtures be ever up, especially when your weekend we are your co-international break up. Inti so what Symbia put dealing with at the club level. Make sure you end this week well. Then you have the next bare 1-2 weeks to sort whatever it is before we come back. Now, Rich, in Pimpi, the weekend I bought club football and Sunday a Jawako international break, I know there are a lot of goals around Europe. I don't know why. I don't know, but that is the trend. See a koba, I know a sketch kakra. But before I bekono, I don't know whether I'm going to so mamim some boom namin ko if you I don't know why, but that is the trend. And see, we will be interested in betting. That is one very, very good thing. Ubetimi at the atoa as an observation. Now, Rich, in the English Premier League, last time I catch you say, even though you have only 2 games, but out of the 20 clubs in the Premier League, Rich, only 3 of them pay, and after only 2 games, can boast of 100% record. Arsenal, Spurs, and Liverpool. Now, coincidentally, this weekend now, match day 3. Already, 2 of almost more 100% record are about to meet. Now, Ayala make us say, be a Premier League, or mass scripting or more player. Ayala go for Yini. How do you explain? Say, you're Premier League, you have only 2 games. 3 clubs per and 100% record. Yeah, quite 3rd weekend already. 2 of the 3 clubs have a meeting. So I'm be sure or more. These are the stories that makes the Premier League sometimes very, very interesting. Say obetimi I follow. Now, these are the Saturday games. And Mashada, I have pushed the early kickoff game to my last analysis. And people should bear with me. The reason why I did that, and I say, I knew Pepe said by the time I started my analysis, the lineups will be in. So I didn't want to bring probable 11. Abraham met me the lineup live on the show to do the analysis. So we will push that to the last one. Now Yetimi at the Athena say, now Yabefienti quickly. Let's go. Rich, shall we early kick off review? One of the games I'm anticipating to watch the Tottenham Hotspur Bournemouth game. Now, Spurs can almost 100% record to the start of the Premier League. Now, before we talk about Spurs, any Bournemouth game, Rich, Spurs, Nansay na and Kofon or Mufo Modrian so nam away. Make I the story of William. Oh, you see, William to flight to move or consign I'm a Tottenham Hotspur. Yet, you know what time was I am at Chelsea. This season, yeah. There are a lot of clubs are Omafa Tottenham Hotspur and Wajani, including North London rivals in Arsenal for Ebrechi Eze. Now, Rich, one will say Tottenham, F.R. Xavi Simons there. The media is not reporting say they've done a coup d'etat against Chelsea. So we are sitting here. Say Usa, was Musa. But Rich, the fact of the matter is, as at the time, Xavi Simons, F.R. flight with the permission of RB Leipzig, say Oba London. Not between Chelsea and Tottenham. We're behind the final negotiation. No one who club a panel, no one moving. Rich, it was Tottenham that did the business with the guy and they've gotten him. look, me, I have one problem with Xavi Simons. And it's because I have more problem with him. People should understand because he's a La Masia boy. Rich, this guy. When he was 10-year old, come on, already 10 years now, our La Masia. The whole world, he was the best 10-year-old player in He left Barcelona 16 years. Okoye, Osio, Paris Saint-Germain are promising a lot of good stuff. Scout into Oko Paris. Yeah, can you say me now? Xavi Simons Obeko. Okay. So 16 years he left. Oko Paris Saint-Germain, rich, say a broken promise, say a deal. I went to say, Paris Saint-Germain or no. Oh, who say Obet Yakobo first team in them? Into Obaso Fio. No, so no problem. Obaso Coin, see me come chrome. Mofabema PSV. Then he went to PSV. Rich, when he finally went home, he played so well in Eredivisie. And a PSG say, hey, Charlie, I went to say, they don't catch a name and Croatia and in the contract, Paris Saint-Germain, and then PSV, no, there was a buyback clause and a Paris Saint-Germain. As a ton, triggers are crossing on turn about back. Rich Osaba Alpha. And on turn RB Leipzig on loan. Okoye, super performance for Leipzig. Leipzig then made it permanent. And those Xavi Simons is only 22. Rich, wabo Barça, wabo Paris Saint-Germain, wabo PSV, wabo back to Paris Saint-Germain, wabo RB Leipzig. Then he's coming to play Tottenham Hotspur. 6 clubs. So ask yourself, how come Obiani one that says he is super talented, but he seems to be a traveler? Rich, this guy, or issue with attitude.
Okay.
Strong one. Because I think say a Tony Timun them say Onibo.
Players so dey we nya Tony Tim sa.
It is all balance say onya bimbo yembo mano. Onu benya issues here. And Rich, he doesn't seem to be a hard worker. Madrid. Say be at this team. Without the ball, you are supposed to come and tackle on this.
Jao Felix Mudieni.
Yes, Ryan Check Mudieni Bino.
Rafael Amon Famra na.
Yes, na me mbobo because me dey nam yade. So probably it was a thorough research from Chelsea to have doubts because the Biano me beka say so what the time I see Chelsea preserve Simons na it was too long in the transfer window, but nothing seemed to be happening. Probably they knew, yes, the prospect is there. But, Rich, their due diligence about him, and my doubts were prolonged. But Tottenham are in a desperate situation, Rich. They are in a desperate situation. They don't see Kudus as a number 10. And they needed a number 10 in their team. Then James Maddison, Akopra. Probably for the whole season, say James Maddison, I guess at the twilight end of the season, and Obeba. They went in for Gibbs White, Omenya. They went in for Eberechi Eze, Omenya. And you could understand Tottenham desperation, Kakra, in looking for their number 10. And the due diligence will not be tall as Chelsea. Rich, Omutim is okay without him. Until you understand how these things work and why Tottenham probably will push little harder even in terms of Sikasem, the salary in there. Tottenham will be more desperate to nail Xavi Simons than club and friend Chelsea. So I understand. Now, Rich, in football, I can't say me. Tottenham call it hard. Echo share Manchester City will be meaningless if at home they don't beat Bournemouth.
Okay.
So who call it yato? Now go City. Now that now fear.
And Bournemouth.
Now when Timmy I said Bournemouth, it makes no meaning. You add Xavi Simons, and this is the depth of Tottenham Hotspur attacking, Rich. With Charleston, Matthias Starr, Dominic Solanke, Brennan Johnson, Odobert, Kudus, Devan Kulusevski, Naoma Adezavi Simons. So Thomas Frank is also the team now. And so what's in the interview and in the West or Kafa Simons one or say probably Abantene saw a Tottenham Hotspur team in the right direction. And that's there is a place in the team Abantene can come and fix. Washano open asam open the ball now obono. So obeba no obeti baba be adwuma na manedia. He makes Tottenham Hotspur more complete. And you understand Ore friend Thomas Frank. But Rich, even though Bournemouth so from last season on performance and this season the way Oma lose some players now, Rich, you still can't tell me say in this era of the Premier League, one of the most respected teams as opponents are Bournemouth. Into Thomas Frank, Kudus, Richarlison must be careful of the Bournemouth team, Rich. Maybe they've lost Milos Kerkic, they've lost Akani, they've lost some key players. But Rich, and Nuno doesn't give you the license not to respect Ayala in the team now. They are a very, very stubborn side. There is Tottenham nowadays. Kudus, Johnson on the wings with Richarlison on form as a main striker. Makase Mkofobebre, of course, because we are Ghanaians. You hear Kudus, but Papa Sa Rich has started the season so well, and Bono is one of the best. Tottenham used to have a lot of issues with injury, especially with Tomo Center House, but fortune seems to be smiling. Omanya consistency kakra from Kuti and Van de Ven and Obian say when they are fit, no Mubabo born at 100%. They are one of the best center half pair Albania in the English Premier League with Poro and Spencer when the first call up in the English national team. Vicario, one of the best goalkeepers our Premier League name. Now Rich, this is the team that they come up against. Say we Kerkic or Lucino. And some of the defenders Mr. Zakani Moa. Rich, I think going forward now, this can't represent a bad team. A team with.
But I mean,
that is a problem. And American. So they've lost some key personnel and I'm a team they're weakened, even including goalkeeper Kepa. And I'm a losing Kakaba Rich. No matter what, going forward, especially with Imanasin coming back, with Anto and Semenyo Traveniamo, you know say you have a problem. Because look, a weak defense in the Liverpool share. But Rich, when they came back from 2 goals down, at a point 2-2, that is what they can also do to walk. And see, if you don't find the character of Liverpool at Anfield, wow, we are Ubesho Mubi, almost Ubesho Ubi, but Rich, and we are the way we need game, no. If you don't find that Liverpool Anfield character to overcome this team, they may have weakness. Rich, their strength is always carry. Say Ubetimi any Omabo. So I'll be expecting some goals in this game. Minimum Tottenham will give us one shocking result. I don't know whether it will be in this game or after the international break, but I'll be very, very cautious and go for goals in Tottenham against your friend Bournemouth. Rich, you don't have any excuse. Manchester United. Someone that you have also in athletics, you have maybe 4 starts. Which I'm assuming some Manchester and 4 starts to the season.
And the usual to redeem
we last 2 weeks in Colombia, say for me, I think it's a idea unfortunate for Manchester United. I almost fixtures no more they starting. So we're pre-season now. Rich, I am of a firm belief that Manchester United and your Burnley match day 1.
And
they would have built on that.
Okay.
And come back building on Sadio. And tell him, you find say Manchester United first game Summer Bonina, Rich were 4 starts. They should use Burnley, especially when after playing Burnley, you have an excuse of an international break. Or when you use Burnley to say, okay, this is the start of your season, But Rich, pressure on this man. Too much pressure.
So after a game, no, you need a Grimsby for no. So no, I know I'm frustrated, and at the point, no person resign.
Rich, and the Awokan is reflected in two of the graphics Amediaba on Obin Amorim. Listen to him here. I am going to be who I am, and that's why I have the passion that I have. So here he is speaking as Obia Onimne. Now Ojino Woody, Rich. After this quote, he switched to this. Sometimes I want to quit.
He's frustrated.
Sometimes I want to be here for 20 years. And it tells you about Obi and Ojin Woody. But Rich, what better situation be more? Autonomy adrenaline. And only the now one of the pressure on him, especially in the context of English football, is this story coming out of Kobe Mainoo. And I repeat these things. Now Sky Air report said Kobe Mainoo asked to leave Manchester United on loan. Manchester United have no intention of allowing him to go on loan. They want him to stay and fight for his place in the team. Now Rich, there are suggestions. People have said, even in the game against Moses Grimby.
Grimsby.
Me starting me mean for me to come to me to
40.
Me dey here. Remember, you know, maybe I want to make first I know more way. Rich. People were saying, say, look, you have a certain way of playing, but you've come to Manchester. So Ujini say the materials now one and fit it into a tray back now. Rich, there are many ways to kill a cat. Switch kakra, say sound, let it suit the players. Then see how you can go with it. Now, Rich, one of the suggestions is this. And so, why now you saw in a 4-2-3-1 there? Then the issue of say Kobe Mainoo and your baby engineer because also competing with Bruno Fernandes probably will be a soft issue.
And that also the Kobe Mainoo as I'm the bar. Some am kind. So tricky the kakra.
Good
to accommodate the boy.
Good. So you see this lineup. Then you have your goalkeeper. You have a back four.
Simple.
Back four. No. Look, many so say Patrick Dogu will have a problem and say I want to leave if so play position will look sure. Many sure. Say Mazraoui only Dalon will play position. It is there for them to fight for it. Delete Euro, Harry Maguire and the other center has no more team. They will have to fight for the two positions. Which what this give you and say you now will have the opportunity to play one of Casemiro or Ugarte as number 6. Then Kobe Mainoo as one of your best, brightest midfielders who is young and the future of Manchester United to have a number 8 position to play. There are some times, if a game are rich, you want to have more attackers. You can say, oh, Kobe, now some more games in me. But this game, I will need Bruno Fernandes even as my number 8 and add another number 10. What it means is that in this formation, Rich, Kobe Mainoo will have more playing time. And see, I don't know whether sometimes coaches must be so rigid with almost structure where they can solve a certain problem with some tweaks. Rich. This is okay. That is very much okay. Look, even if Benjamin Sesko you push one of Cunha, you bring Ahmad. Like this give you the opportunity to have more offensive players and reshuffle them the way you want to, rather than having an additional defender. Then any more for a lot of flexibility in terms of Omunya playing time. But Rich, you say Amorim, and he is going to come with this in any game. Remember, he's going to come with delete Euro. Shaw, then Dogu there with Dalo, Casemiro Fernandes, Imromo Matias Cunha, then Sesko. Probably maybe after the international break, which will also be after the transfer window has closed. You know, Rich, maybe after your placing now, one that's okay. Your real transfer window now, probably you will go back to what we are suggesting. But the enemy say, and that will be too short for him to go back and say me normal. So we are expecting him to go in with this, which the expectation of the football world and then the fans they PM Old Trafford and they say it is this team you are going to beat.
Then Ayala, you see, so game beer, open so the tricky formation. This is
it should be the easiest game
because this is Bally Old Trafford.
Yes.
At least what they are trying the first half. Just try it first half, the day. The beer feedback. I'm at your corner. What do you mean track it back?
So no, you're different
because it's not different.
And two born a wing back.
And
so I'll share one. Or born a wing back now. There are sometimes or you are not getting into offensive position. Because you need to defend and go Hey, Rich, one of the most difficult positions to play a wing back. So we a defender, so we a wingo, you are staying between being a defender and being an attacker.
And we're going to say, or the ball is just so
now it's not easy. But whether Amorim, whether problem, whether toxic, Manchester United must beat Burnley today. Rich, somebody to me and say Burnley, yeah. And then someone else say, probably we are seeing it from far from where Sisi Ayaya won. Rich, Newcastle colleagues. And Matisse Uriah Fred Eddie Howe Eka the start of the game is going to be very, very important for us. And I all refer to Lisa. I invested so much in good players. Now, Ellen Road there, Oko will be open because the stadium is full of emotions, and we will need to use that emotions this weekend. But before we zoom into our game, Rich, they've also made a certain step, which for me probably a what domino effect on other issues are on what to resolve. Issue Ben American was for Omo share YouTube in share TV. There are things that they've seen the issue I'm going to talk about. But for more radio, Rich, Team Feno Newcastle finally a striker. And yet Obia says Stuttgart Abrantia your friend Nick Watmadi. This guy, Rich, Bayern Munich had the 3 bids and they called Stuttgart. All of them were rejected because of Mrs. And now I know Kasi. So Uko Germany, Rich, even in the German national team, he is the first striker to be called by Julian Nagelsmann. One day we will come and talk about his story. And it is a shocking story that has happened, Rich, even less than 1 year. But Rich, the emphasis and they say, with Nick coming in for 60 million plus 4 million add-ons, we are talking about pounds, so you can convert it into euros. Rich, I think this give room for the Ishak issue to be solved. Because Makase, they are not Newcastle air trainer, they say, if they are able to get a replacement, Rich, it will be total madness. So one replacement for Obi say Ishak. Now Opesoko, Mesika Eba is in the region of 120 and allow him to stay and waste. It doesn't make any sense, especially with Newcastle, Rich, even with the Arabian money. Because of financial rules, England, they are still suffering on their books. So when you weigh around 65, Rich, the 120, 130, nothing 65. The film they are carrying for somehow. Then look how you go on with Otim, saying he has come. Rich, and then Tia say, Abantia for the Jolinton, Epra, when you're growing. So we are expecting Ramsey to play. Then of course, Yepra, Anthony Gordon Sukodi red card, and also Entimi Embo. So Usula and Ebe started as the center forward for Tima. Your friend in Newcastle, which Ramsey said Makano, Ebe Ram for Jolinton. Their candidate, we are expecting it to be the same. Isha Tima, your friend Liverpool. The only thing that stands against Newcastle game way, and they said they are going away. And Rich, Leeds United is one of the traditional teams in the Premier League. Sawoko Alan Road. Now almost supporters this is so muye dede. Now enyoma koye momo because they are enjoying inspiration from supporters now. Rich, it can be very, very difficult for you. But I think these are some of the games Newcastle are good at, especially under Eddie Howe, any or more Arabian investors. So a double chance for Newcastle and probably an over 1.5 game that will complete the Saturday games. Ochina, Rich, there are some interesting games. One of them is the Villa Crystal Palace game. A game we are say Asano Chameleon Taribi Unai Emery at home against Oliver Glasner. Rich, the only thing I am a game with for me predict say Aston Villa a 55% chance the Europe midweek in a Crystal Palace boy.
Oh my bread.
Yes, and they are not used to that. And yet team a table Europe. And a new experience among the players. And so we are share 1-0 of you and we come on nil away and the qualification. And it has been a tight game for them. And they've played all their best players within that 2 weeks now about Europe. I think it's a game. No, a comma Villa Fonica Creaby. Look, West Ham to against Chelsea. And they are unfortunate to go to Nottingham Forest in their next game. I think Nottingham Forest will beat them again. Yes, I think Nottingham Forest will beat them. Rich, the last time I City called Brighton home, Hokobo was our stadium. Rich, they were beaten 2-1. Now, City under the two Peps, in here reaction after their 2-1 with Tottenham. And Rich, they must find solutions. Since it's always City team number, they have a lot of good players, but Rich, so what share the two lineups are Pep Ediabo season so far? He still doesn't know his first 11. Brighton beat me how I dream debut. I'm telling you, Rich. Rich, it's going to be a difficult game for City. Very, very difficult. These games has always produced goals. I think it's already the last 2 times on my bar. They are producing goals, 3 goals. And see, the caveat here and say, you were almost in Pempe, almost to Rich. Almost that's City. So they will at least go for double chance City because OG City team need it. And Rich, they are trying to come back to see what City end of this season on the ball. But they are sure say in games like Brighton and Hove Albion, goals will come from both teams. And see, Mr. based on baby Awujina. So what does you City there? Because look, the last time I City boy, first game on boy, I'm Bernardo Silva. Second game, they changed Bernardo Silva and played Ryan Cherky. Second half, and a purpose why mistake. Oh yeah, the captain when the team he brought Bernardo Silva. That is the reason why in this third game, they expect to say Bernardo Silva will start with Reinders and Nico Gonzalez and Fifi Doku Bob Haaland. The next year, there's no problem with it. Which, maybe I will tell to Omwa, Omakasa look, a Misika ready to game so. And it's a City in Chile and say, this is them this season. I wait, especially game where it's a home game. I away game. I will not worry myself whether City is going to beat Brighton or not. But I will look at the two teams and say, oh, these are two attacking teams that will cough out goals in a 90 minutes game. Eddie, I'm going to about 2 goals. So, not my head here because I think this will be my last but one. Because my guys say, we are then I do the Chelsea one. Then we are a bit feeble. And same break with the Koroko elections and the Rich, big game. And medical who say the Liverpool against Arsenal a big game, a league table. It is either one is going to lose 100% record. Number I continue, Rich, and I say Babu Munina. On Babu draw. Now say 100% record no, Abu Munina. And that is what we are expecting CBC. Rich. there is a big issue with Liverpool, how they will line up Ochina. And it starts from this video. Rich, it starts from here. Now, Gavin Betch is back. And so, Liverpool team Rich, he is the only known, though and conventional DM in the team. And this Obapeno Obajin number 6 abo 10 years. Then Rich, Liverpool akoto for vet. Big money. Vet ebano. Dienti ojitu mu se ombo Bayern obeba Liverpool. And they say aside Nenesi Kasambe no, Rich, they also promise him number 10 ya odia. And now Liverpool omu number 6. Omu number 10. They seem to be untouchable. Especially for big games. Unless say Liverpool won Carabao Cup, FA Cup game, so Monyema home. But in the Premier League in big games, Rich, Liverpool 6, Liverpool 10. In Gravenberch and Freiburg, untouchable. But Rich, Liverpool bought only 3 midfielders. So what it means is that say 2 untouchable. Between Szoboszlai and McAllister, only one can play. Rich, back up the bit abo. Nancy and McAllister anywhere. And when they were going away to Newcastle, so go and sort your family issues into one game in the bimpo.
And so Szoboszlai a boy.
And Szoboszlai boy and Szoboszlai too.
He plays so well.
Now, Rich, beyond 90 Yamabobo Mudi, that is the reason why I have Ayala to want to leave, because also when you bimbo. And I see the Euro under 21 all the England koje. So he thinks he's had to speak. Curtis Jones is always there because Rich say probia manaba be shema manabe oh me o mama be juma mamo. So he's around. Now Rich, that is the issue with Liverpool. You go to Arsenal and Oriya Feno Arteta can be in this video, Rich. Or say games kesiye bi say the ochorombo no e very important to him. Na e games are Rich e fefe o momentum a odi bo league no. Na say utimi bo games we a na o sha e convince you say utimi ni ye. It's one of the boys, you know, they are ready for game. We say, Rich, and your Liverpool go on a issue with where by when you're available. Arsenal so be. Arsenal problem, then they say, Enra, doing Mikel Arteta interview, no, or see Bukayo Saka, they say no, he will be out for some weeks. Enra, Martin Odegaard, yet training. Or see Odegaard be training and now who say Odegaard try so be say or to game no obetimi ya Bobby. They are not going to risk him so on timia. But so to me, everybody so can say oh bibia ko so obetimi Bobby dia. They will see whether he is available. Rich. So coach akasa e just have run rombo. And what it means is that Rich Mikel Merino then steps in Odegaard position, you know. Then without Bukayo Saka in praying, you bring in Madueke or a Hornum. This is the Arsenal team. There's also an issue with Ben White. So Julian Timber, Ebebo. Rich, this Arsenal team is okay. And for Omwa, now as I almost as Arsenal to too many players now. Rich, the depth that Mikel Arteta wanted to build now. Emilio going into a crucial game or Anfield against Liverpool and losing 2 of your best players in Bukayo Saka and your friend Martin Odegaard. Now, without them, Rich, do you look at this team and say a week?
No.
Any week.
This is a solid team.
Any week. And we are talking about team where players we say Trossard at your bench, Eze at your bench, Nwaneri at your bench. It tells you how good that team will be. Arsenal post your training video. Gabriel Jesus has started training. Rich, imagine a time where Arsenal will get Jesus, Havertz, Odegaard, Saka, Remunina available in one team. That is the depth of our squad now. That is the reason why even Mohamed Salah will tell you, look, no kwani nyamianim die yɛhwɛ Arsenal team there hɔ and how dynamic ɔmo yɛ any almost squad in depth na yɛgyiri sɛ they are pure contenders and that ɔmo yɛ favourites.
The only problem I'm aware with the Arsenal team wingers you know Martinelli and then Madueke ɔmo nyinaa seems Martinelli good on the ball me obetwɛn but the final decision problematic.
Yes.
Madueke nso esu ɔno ɔgye ball na afei na obesi ne tiri ase de ball na benachi apart from that this Arsenal team super.
Marriage sɛ wowɔ Calafiori na wowɔ Timber na sɛ wose o mewɔ two direct wingers ɔmo yɛ direct ɔmo nya bɔɔ na ɔmo pɛ sɛ ɔmo kɔ ɔmo anim space ne ade etu nim be careful how you follow them with a play no sɛ de bɛyɛ Liverpool and you see one of ɔmo best strength which is ɔmo counter attack sɛ mo bɛ stay mo yɛ rigid. Very rigid defenders are almost pace or makes me know why one day any BBR. Some yes, you man, mamma. They leave the wing play and wait to these players. Once you make for the son, I'm clear enough to say man for man. I'm only Liverpool for the best change in Abo. You can't tell me to be ready to declare rice. Mikel Moreno can't stand toe to toe with Liverpool make for the snow. This is the midfield you are talking about. Gavin Bet, whether McAllister or someone slide with vets. I set you up for a very good game.
And your name Murphy.
Now Rich. Conor Bradley ba. Omanya ninja almost like but now he's back. Even in that game he came on. Until Waba fix it. Until Liverpool need problem with Omachile and Omo back line. Now so the medical can so her line up here a happy and a problem war because Gakpo Ikechike Salad here. He say Omo no nim ho no. Omo until Isaac beba no. I bet my predu there. She see and we no more rich. Achepa no minya this impression about Liverpool and Arsenal games. And is it the Premier League? It's either the Premier League and Arsenal Liverpool. Omwanga some pakwa say Rich, this game has always produced goals. Okay, Andre R7 more time. Arsenal Liverpool 4-4 we've had games, blockbuster games between Arsenal and Liverpool. I think say Rich, where's baby?
Okay.
Where's baby? It's too early to predict. Say Obiadu the peak where you better than way. It's too early. But I think say still the main cut of Arsenal Liverpool has always been a game that gives you the goals. Now, Obetimi I predict you on Rich before I met National. Now say Chelsea lineup near then.
Chelsea lineup.
Let me watch it from here.
Yeah, me kind of amana.
No, you're fine. Come back 30 seconds. Okay, so Sanchez Ewopomu.
Sure.
Malo Gusto Cucurella.
Back three of Gusto, Chaloba, Tosin, and then
Basada is Cucurella.
Yeah, Cucurella.
So then it makes it a back four.
So Caicedo, Enzo, Estevao, João Pedro, Neto, Delap.
Okay. Then this is similar to our last game in Anambra. This is very similar to Omone West Ham. No? A league kick-off games today, and I want some kidding. And I think if I heard Fifi right, now or can say against Marco Silva, you don't get the stats now. Omunya against Graham Potter. No. Silva is more difficult coach than Graham Potter. And it's our first 20-25 minutes been a chess ball against West Ham. Rich, they shouldn't have the same thing against Fulham. They shouldn't.
Okay.
So Omunya is a Fulham first goer. Rich, this Fulham team and Marco Silva and now I'm mentioning 5. And they will not allow you to bully your goalkeeper with corners. No, West Ham 5. No. But I think Chelsea must build some momentum before the international break. I want to be a game with you and a game being on me. I shall answer on international break. And there's one thing I am seeing, Rich. It seems to see the issue of Gatins in Estevao which of those young wingers na obe red Chelsea team in anticipation of Ghana to beba no so more competition, you know. I think say Estivao is winning side, you know, CCI, and without Kopama, which the coach wants to play the two strikers in João Pedro and Dilap. And that is how Enoma ABC Akoya, I'm expecting Chelsea to do well in this game, you know, Rich. And then Saturday, of course, we will sit down with some Osby for a conference. Monsieur,
I Real Madrid, my candidate. Kuchopana Madrid.
Madrid will win. Madrid will win.
Bacano Barcelona.
Ochina.
We are Ochina.
You ever show with our international break now?
Okay.
Those two games shouldn't be difficult for team and friend of us. I mean, so I never fight. And then Saturday the Uchu tie up a bet in what else would be Saturday dear. And one if your games in our and I will take it. We take green. I want to take it now. Ow, oh, Nina, and I bet womb. It's a say 4 course Pagina and so far on your BW DF 6F 5 4A. That's the first one. Second one A BW DF 88599. The next one A BW DF 96471. Then the last one A BW DF 9D F5F. Until 4 calls now. Wait me out. You can screenshot it now whilst you watch it. And I say Oko Besmakosu Bempana say Akosi _ Ayala Ewo Exa, and I'll come Facebook page Nina unsa ebitimi aka. Sa course we before Saturday na ofana nyina de aye nyoma.
Okay. Yemrefie na yemfa fisem no entu